Hey guys, it's Pico here, and this is my first video about badly designed full sync objectives in Assassin's Creed. So right now we're starting with Brotherhood, which is the first game to have full sync missions, or full sync objectives in the missions, and we'll be going up until Syndicate, which is the last one to have full sync objectives and missions. So right now we're doing Sequence 5 Memory 1, which is Escape from Debt, and for the full sync objectives, you have to not get detected while escorting the Senator. And since we're not escorting the Senator right now, I just decided to speed up this part while we're going to where he is, which is on the giant Campidoglio thing, whatever it's called. And then once you get to where he is, you just have to kill 3 enemies that are attacking him and save him from those guards. And then once you kill those, you actually get to the part where the full sync matters, and you actually have to escort him and not get detected. And this mission isn't exactly the hardest one to do in Brotherhood, but I still decided to put it in the video just because some people might have trouble with doing this mission, and I know I had trouble with it when I first played the game. So I just decided to put it in just in case people were stuck on this mission for whatever reason. If you didn't care about full sync, then I guess it doesn't really matter, and you can just like rush this and just escort him to the area and kill every guard you see and not even bother. But since this is about trying to show off how badly designed the full sync missions are, or just missions that have that are hard because of the full sync, I just want to show it off. So what I do for this mission, I just use the assassin fruits for most of the time, and I just wait for them to kill all the enemies for me, so I don't have to do anything and risk getting detected. So this mission is basically just a lot of that, like just stopping him in a certain spot and then calling your assassin recruits on the enemies and then just waiting for them to kill the enemies and then just keep going to the next area. So it's basically just a lot of the same thing over and over again, which can kind of get tedious and boring, but it's not exactly hard, it's just kind of dumb. So then in this part, I just used my assassin recruits again, but something dumb happens and like one of my recruits just like stays up on the platform in front of me and just doesn't do anything. Like you can see them right now just like throwing down throwing knives. They throw down 2 throwing knives and then do nothing, and I have to wait for the other recruit to actually kill these last 2 enemies, which is kind of dumb. So I don't know what happened to them, but they're just up there doing nothing. And I see Senators under attack, so I start freaking out and running back here to save him. And I hide behind this wall to try and not get detected, and then that guard just runs past me, I guess, to attack this assassin recruit. And then I end up doing a front assassination on him, which somehow doesn't get me detected either, which I don't know how. Because normally when you do that, it detects you. It doesn't do that during that specific instance. I don't know what happened, but I'm happy that it did because it didn't make me fail to full sync. And one thing I should mention with Brotherhood is that, or even Revelations 2, is that in those games, when you fail full sync, you can't restart last checkpoint. You have to restart the entire memory from the beginning, which is kind of dumb. But they're also the first 2 games that have full sync objectives, so I guess they're still like learning about what they wanted to do and like how they wanted to develop it. It's still dumb how like you have to restart the entire memory, especially if it's on a long mission and you fail the full sync like right at the end, which we'll kind of get to in some later missions, not just in this game but in some of the other games. So then just wait for these guys to kill these guards. And at least the assassin recruit meter fills pretty quickly, especially when you're not even like really paying attention to it and you're just going through the mission and waiting to get to the next area because it just fills and you don't even realize it. So then I have 2 meters back and I just use one of them on these guards here. Horse walks through the camera, great. So I just gotta wait for these assassin recruits to kill these guards. And even though I leveled all of these up, Like, I leveled up all these assassin groups, they still take a while to kill all the enemies. Because I'm playing on my 100% completion file, and I've done everything in this game already. I'm just replaying the memory. Because I 100% every Assassin's Creed game because I have no life. So I'm just replaying the memories from that file that I have already. But then I'm just waiting for these assassin recruits to do it, to kill these enemies. And I just call the senator. And we're in the second checkpoint, I guess. But like I said, checkpoints don't really matter unless you die, because you have to restart the memory from the beginning if you fail with full sync.
Cannot stop here. Many guards.
And you saw before that cutscene happened, you saw enemies go behind this corner, but I don't know where they went, because there's scaffolding behind the corner, so they just kind of like disappeared. And then here I remember that there was enemies above, so I tried to run back, and then the camera like freaked out for no reason and made me start climbing the wall. So I just put them down there, and I had to climb up here to actually get the marker lock-on thing on the guards so that I could call the assassins. I don't know why one's like on the roof over there. And he's under attack again for some reason. I guess those guards that went around the corner came back. So now I have to call guard assassins on the mobile ending with these aliens. And he's just down there for some reason. And since he's like an assassin or anything, he can't climb. You actually have to like go up and down the stairs and manually walk up to different levels of the ground. So it's kind of dumb, so you can't just like climb roofs everywhere. Also, thanks for that horse spawning out of nowhere. It's great. So then again, the same thing happens where my assassin just spawns up there for no reason, throws down 2 throwing knives, or 4 I guess, and then does nothing. Well, this one actually jumps down, but they just stood there for a bit and then jumped down. I was kind of considering helping my assassin recruits, especially since there was only like one enemy I could actually see, because the other ones went around the corner. And I guess they wouldn't have detected me, but I still don't want to risk it. And then this is the last part of the mission, we like end it right here. But there's also guards right here, so I didn't want to risk getting detected right at the end. So I just called my assassin recruits on these last 40 guards. And then wait for them to kill the guards, and then we're done with this mission. So like I said, not exactly the hardest thing, but still can be pretty annoying. So then we move on to Sequence 6 Memory 1, which is Gatekeeper. And what you have to do for this one is to not take any damage, which can be kind of annoying because they just throw tons of enemies at you all at once. And this is the first one where I actually fail it and I have to restart the memory, which isn't really too bad because I fail right at the beginning. So I'm just like jumping around for some reason. I forget what I was doing, but I get hit, so I have to restart. So basically what you have to do is just close the 3 gates, and I try to like throw a smoke bomb at the enemies, and I kind of end up wasting a smoke bomb because my assassin threw a smoke bomb right before I did, so I just kind of wasted mine. Kind of stupid. But I'm just killing all these guards while they're still stunned and being busy killing my assassin recruits. So I just combo kill when there's like till there's barely one left around me, and then I go for closing the gate. Which for the gate, you have to hold circle or B or whatever the interact button is until it closes, which can be kind of annoying because the camera, when you start closing the gate, focuses on the gate, so you can't see what's behind you when you're closing it, so the enemies can like sneak up behind you and hit you while you're doing it, which I've had happen to me a lot of times while playing this mission. And you have to hold it for a pretty long time because it's like really slow when you close it for some reason, I guess to make it more challenging, I guess. It's kind of dumb how like long it takes to close the gate. But at least once you close one, there's gonna be a lot less people. And once you close the second one, there's a lot less people. And then once you close the third one, you just have to kill all the remaining enemies inside the area. And then that's pretty much it for the mission. There's still like a one section after this, but it doesn't, the full sync doesn't apply to that part. It only applies to this part where you have to close all the gates. So then just keep killing all the enemies. Close this second gate. A lot of my allies got trapped outside the gate for some reason. I don't know why they tried to leave the area. And my camera was locking onto the wrong guy. It was locking onto the guy stunned by the smoke bomb instead of the one directly chasing me. So I thought I was gonna get hit by him, but then I didn't. And I don't know why those guards are trying to climb the wall. Then I just end up shooting them with the pistol anyway. And I end up accidentally looting that one guard, but then let go of the button and close the gate. And then that's basically it for the full sync for this mission. But then this last part, you basically just have to follow Bartolomeo to the last area, and then just do the, you have to watch the cutscene or skip it or whatever, and then you're done with the mission. And I don't know why he goes in a circle. I don't know what's with the horses in this game, but they just get stuck on everything. I guess that happens in like every game with horses, or every Assassin's Creed game with horses at least. But they just get stuck on everything, and it's really annoying. That's why I never use horses in like any Assassin's Creed game. And I don't know, those enemies are clearly guards, and they're clearly enemies, but they don't attack you at all for riding through their camp, which is, I guess, good for the full thing, because you don't have to risk getting hit. It's still kind of dumb how they don't attack you at all, even though they're clearly enemies. But that's it for that mission. So then we move on to Sequence 7 Memory 2, which is even more dumb because it's even longer than that one. And basically, you have to use your assassin recruits to assassinate your targets. And the wording for that is so specific, because when you use your assassin recruits, you have to make sure that they specifically do the assassinate animation instead of killing the enemies in combat, because if they kill the enemies in combat, even though you killed the enemy and you get the costumes, it doesn't count for the full sync, because they don't assassinate the enemy, they have to specifically assassinate them. So the wording is like such a specific thing you have to do, which kind of makes this mission dumb, because you can never tell like what animation or kill thing that your assassin recruits are ever gonna do. So it's kind of dumb and such specific wording. And once we get to AC3, or even like AC4, the wording on the full sync objectives are going to be even more specific and dumb. Especially when AC3 introduces multiple full sync objectives for a single mission. At least in Brotherhood and Revelations, there's only one full sync objective per mission, so you don't have to worry about doing one thing. But in later games like AC3 and AC4 and stuff like that, you have to worry about doing multiple things. But I guess in those games you don't have to do all the full sync objectives in one run of the mission, but I always try to do that just because I just feel like it's better to do it all in one run, so you don't have to replay the mission. So basically, for this mission, you have to follow him through 3 different areas, and you have to use your assassin recruits to kill the targets that are designated at the end of the mission, or at the end of the area. So then during this first area, I go through the center, because there's guards on either side, and I don't want to get detected because it'll make me fail the mission. So I just go through this area, and he somehow sees me a little bit, but I go behind this pillar and he doesn't see me. Because he's scripted to turn around there no matter what, so I just avoid him by going around the pillar. And the brute starts seeing me for a second, but then I just run through the middle. So not really that hard. And then this is the part where I actually have to restart, because the assassin recruits make me fail when I kill the guy in combat instead of assassinating him.
Once you get dressed, follow me to the plane.
And I didn't bother skipping this cutscene because it's so short that there's no point, and I don't even know if the game lets you skip it because of how short it is. But anyway, I'd call the assassin fruit like I normally would, and then they end up killing the guy in combat, and it also alerts Micheletto, so he comes to check out what's happening. So he just watches my recruits kill the guy, and he just stares at the dead body and then starts leaving. And I'm like, oh wait, they killed him in combat, they didn't assassinate him, so I have to restart. So I'm gonna have to follow him to the first area all over again. So that's why this mission is kind of dumb, because you have to specifically assassinate them with the assassin recruits, and you can never tell what animation you're gonna do. I'll just skip this cutscene again, and just speed this part up, because we already saw this part. I've also had times where, like, during these tailing parts of this mission, where he just, like, turns around for no reason and detects me, which is dumb. Because, like I said in the last mission, horses in this game are bad, and they get stuck on everything, and they turn around for no reason. And I've had times where that happened, and he saw me following him. But since he's on a horse and he's so fast, he catches up to me, and then he just fully detects me and gets into combat, and it desynchronizes me, because you're not supposed to do that when you're following someone. So then I just go through the same path again. Just go through the middle. I'm sure you could go around like the sides or something, but I just go through the middle just because it's easier. And you're still close to him, so you can always still keep him in your sight. Also, look at him looking directly at me through the wall, because they have omniscient AI and they always know where you are, even when they pretend that they don't. Which is a problem that every Assassin's Creed game has. It's so dumb and I hate it. And I guess I was getting too close to him for some reason, even though in the last attempt, before I restarted, I'm pretty sure I was that exact same distance away from him, and he didn't detect me. So then I go up here like I normally do, but then he still knows where I am because of his omniscient AI, and it doesn't make his marker go away, and I also have a second marker from one of the brutes for some reason. So I'm just standing up here like, what's going on? I was so confused when I was recording this. I was like, I don't know what's happening. So then I'd have to jump down here to go farther away for him to actually make him move. And I have to get closer to actually activate the cutscene.
Once you get dressed, you follow me to the plane.
And then, at least here, like after that, like that's the only time I actually have to reset and restart this mission, because I don't have any other problems with the full sync. So I'm just getting into position and mark this guy. Call assassin crew on. Get the costumes, and then go down here, jump on the horse, just follow him to the second area. This second tailing part is where I've had a lot of trouble, at least with him like getting stuck on a civilian or something and turning around and seeing me. At least during the part where he goes like around a corner. And you could actually see that in my Assassin's Creed glitch video that I uploaded recently. Because I don't know what happened, but he got stuck on like one of the civilians that was carrying a box or something, and it made him turn around and see me. And then he detected me, and it was kind of dumb. And I just wait here for the guy on the horse to walk by, because I didn't want to get detected by him, which would have in turn got me detected by Micheletto. So then I just gotta follow him. These tailing parts take so long, because he goes at different speeds for no reason. Like sometimes he's sprinting like this, and then other times he's walking at like the slowest speed possible, and I don't know what's up with his pathing or his AI or whatever it is. His like speed control is all over the place and really weird. This is the part where he normally gets stuck on a person and turns around and sees me, but it luckily didn't happen. But if it did happen, I would have had to restart the entire mission, or at least get detected and be restarted at the last checkpoint. Which, at least if you die or get desynchronized, it doesn't fail the full sync unless the full sync is to not get detected. But since that's not the full sync for this mission, it doesn't matter. Then for the second area, I always climb up here by the cornice end. And then there's a guard on the roof that I try to shoot. And I remember there's guards down there that see me, so I jump down. And then I just decide to kill the archer with my hidden blade. I just fast walk behind him and stab him. And then the second archer coming up is one I actually do shoot with the crossbow. There's also a third one I shoot, but I forget to shoot him before I call the assassin recruits on the targets. But I do shoot him after, even though I normally shoot him before. So then I always go up here and I go on top of this circle. This circular area thing.
Once you get dressed, follow me to the place.
And this part can be kind of dumb. Like, I've had times during this mission where I called the assassin recruits, and they did the assassination animation on one of them, and then got into combat with the other one and killed the other one in combat. So it still failed the full sync, but luckily I got a double assassination on them. So this is the archer I normally kill before I kill the targets, but I still kill them afterwards. I've also had times where sometimes when Nicoletto gets on the horse here, he starts seeing me, because he can see me through the crack in the wall for some reason, but it didn't happen here. So then we have to follow him to the third area, and the third area is probably the hardest because you probably saw in the first area there was only one guard, and then in the second area there was 2 guards. So in the third area there's going to be 3 guards. So you have to kill 3 guards with specifically the assassination animation, which is harder than you would think to say, but still, you have to kill them with the assassination animation, which can be hard because when you spawn the assassin recruits, it only spawns 2 at a time. So you basically have to press the button twice and hope that they all do that one assassination animation instead of getting into combat and killing the guys in combat. And Nicoletto also, instead of going through the area and coming out a different way than he left, he actually goes up this staircase and then he leaves the same way he went in. So if you're like following him directly like I do, then he'll most likely see you. Which he kind of did for me, but it wasn't long enough to get detected and fail the mission. So that worked out somehow.
Follow me to the place. Capito.
You can see there's 3 guards that you have to kill. But I actually forgot that when I was doing this, it's been a while since I played the game, so I forgot that he went out the same way he came in. So then I killed these guards, and I actually detected him for a minute, but I didn't get full sync. I didn't fail the full sync because that doesn't apply to it. So now I just mashed a button and like call my assassin recruits on them because I didn't want to risk getting any of them killed in combat. Because then it would have failed the full sync right at the end. So then you just have to follow him to the Colosseum, and then that's the end of this mission. And since this mission, like, if you're going through the story instead of replaying the mission, this mission goes directly into the next mission right after it. So the thing that tells you whether you got full sync or not doesn't really show up properly if you replay the mission. So it shows up for like 1 frame, and I just see the 0% instead of 100 or 50%. Just like that. So I don't know why it does that. It's kind of weird. But anyway, this is actually the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC mission, which is Memory 5 Last Minute Invite. And for this mission, you have to you can kill the guards, but you have to not have any guards discover a dead body inside the area, which is also such a specific thing. Also, it spawns you like so far away from you actually have to be, so I just decided to speed this part up until I got to the part where you have to actually, I just sped it up until you got to the area where you actually have to be for the mission. And then there's Hermeticists, which are, even though they're enemies that are exclusive to this DLC, and even if you have if you don't have any notoriety, they still protect you, which is kind of dumb. And I didn't realize that this wasn't a cutscene you could skip, so I tried to skip it, and then I realized that you couldn't. So that's why I paused randomly. Because for some reason, Brotherhood and Revelations have you skip the cutscene by pausing in the middle of it and hitting skip cutscene, instead of later games like AC3 or AC4 just holding circle to skip it. So what I normally do for this mission is I always try to take out the archers first, because they will definitely see me no matter what. So I always try to take them out first, and then I pick up their bodies and like throw them on the opposite side of the roof where the enemies are, so they don't fall off the roof and fall down into the enemy's line of sight. So I try to ledge assassinate him, but then he walks away, so then I just get up and walk behind him. And I try to see where his body goes, but it doesn't fall in a place, or he could fall off the roof and get seen. And then I air assassinate him so his body falls immediately. And then I pick him up just to be safe, and I put him in this corner. And I'm just deciding where I want to shoot this other guy from. I don't know, I was deciding if I wanted to shoot that guy first or this other guy, but I decided to shoot him first because sometimes I've had it where his body falls into the water and I wanted to have that happen, but I don't think it did. Yeah, because he walked too far away. But if his body falls in the water, then that's basically what you want, because if his body falls in the water, it basically just despawns and no one can see it. And somehow the guy next to the courtesan doesn't see the other guy just die. I've had times where, like, sometimes they can see the other guy you shoot get killed. So then I go down here, and I try to see if I can... Well, I kill this guy first, and then I try to see if I can air assassinate the two people guarding the chest, but then I don't, because I realized the other guy that was just talking about, you know, the courtesans would see it. So then I kill this guy, and I just wait to see where his body goes, and I pick him up, and I put him here, and I hope his body doesn't fall. It slides a little bit, but it's not that bad. So then I go back down here, and I actually hire these thieves, and I lure these other two guards away that are protecting the area, because I don't want to risk them seeing a dead body in the area if they get moved for any reason. If I kill a guy walking around behind them, I don't want to risk them seeing his dead body. So I just have them lure them away. And I just have to deal with this one last guy. I'm trying to find out where he is right now. I was gonna have him like come over here and like kill him while I was blending with these civilians, but then I saw that he didn't walk close enough to them, so it's just like, well, there's a bench right there, I can bench assassinate him. So then I wait for him to turn around, and I just go to the bench and wait for him to walk by it. So then once I bench assassinate him, I hire these courtesans, and I distract the other two guys holding the chest, or guarding the chest, or whatever. And then once I do that, then that's basically it for this mission, except for one last part where you have to chase a courier. But once you get to that part, you don't have to worry about full sync anymore. And so just wait for this guy to walk by. And then assassinate. And then hire these courtesans. Since he's behind a wall, you can't. These guys won't be able to see him. The guy on the bench.
Alright, go.
So they start detecting me for a little bit, because once I send the courtesans, it makes me stop blending. So then I just wait for them to start dancing, or whatever it is they're doing, and then kill them. Try to get the chest, but for some reason their bodies still have collision, so it doesn't let me through. And then, like I said, you just have to chase the courtesan, and that's basically it. And I think you have to get him before he reaches a certain area. I think he's running towards the Vatican, or the Castel Sant'Angelo, and you have to catch him before he reaches that place. But it's not really that hard. So I go around these guys. You can technically jump through those people. When they're holding their swords up like that to hit you down, you can just manually jump through them and completely avoid it. But I just decided to go around on the other side of the tunnel. That was the jump thing I was talking about. Which is a really interesting trick that I don't think many people know about. But it's so useful. And I'm just killing these last two guards for the mission end. And then we have this war machine mission for the tank called Hell on Wheels. And for this mission you have to not take any damage while in the tank, which is kind of dumb, because driving the tank is the last part of this mission you have to do. So if you take damage in it, you have to completely redo all of this first part, and it's really dumb, because it's so easy to get hit while in the tank. And if you do, then you completely redo this tailing part, and then you have to redo the part where you beat up the architect, and then you have to redo the part where you save the mercenaries, and you have to redo the part where you kill all the guards with the mercenaries, and you have to redo the whole part where you have to go for the tunnels with the mercenaries, and then you can finally drive the tank again. And it's so stupid and tedious and dumb, and I hate it, and I hate doing it every time I do this, the war machines. And it's easily my least favorite war machine mission. But there's actually a strat, or a cheat, or whatever, that'll show up I'll show off at the end of this mission that makes the full sync a lot easier, especially during the last section with the tank. But basically we just kill these people in the first area, and then once we get into the castle area, the fort or whatever, and we have to beat up the architect, find the plans, and burn the plans, and then get the mercenaries, and then go through the tunnels with the mercenaries, and then we can drive the tank. But like I said, you have to redo all of this if you fill the full tank, which is dumb. And it can get really tedious and annoying if you're stuck here for hours just replaying this one section over and over again. And they walk so slowly too, so you have to just wait for such a long time just for them to walk into the area. I need to go around this way because you can't go through the area or through the main entrance. And once you get here, you have to beat them up. It's actually kind of reminiscent of the missions in AC1 where you have to beat up the informants to get information for the target you're going after. Which is kind of interesting, I guess. What do you want? Since these are side missions, I doubt most people would play them, so they don't really get that reference.
I am not sure, but you need 3 people.
Also, you can't skip this cutscene either, so if you fail the full sync, you have to completely rewatch this cutscene over and over again, which can get really annoying too. And that's why I paused for a bit, because I wanted to see if I could skip the cutscene, but it doesn't let you do that. So if you fail full sync, you just completely rewatch that cutscene over and over again, which is dumb. But basically you have to just go over these roofs and shoot 3 archers. You probably could go around a different way. I also don't know what happened here, but somehow I still shot the guy. You probably could go around a different way to get over here, but I can go over the roofs because it's just easier. And just less time consuming. Try and jump down here and then just burn the plans. And then you have to go free the 2 mercenaries. I go up here to try to air assassinate the Seeker, but then it's not in my range. So then I just jump down no matter what. Or I just jump down and then kill him, so it doesn't matter.
Follow us.
Because once you shoot the mercenaries, you get it into combat with the enemies anyway. You also can't skip that cutscene, so you have to rewatch that tons of times every time you fail full sync, which will also get annoying. So just kill all these enemies in combat. And then there's gonna be a second wave of enemies you have to kill, and then we go through the tunnels, which is like a short platforming section. Combo kill all these enemies before. Kill the brute and kill this last guy. Kill these last 2 guys. Somehow the mercenary hit and barely did anything. And somehow he stopped me from doing an assassination on the Seeker. Which is dumb, because I was about to kill him and then he just hits me and it stops the animation. And then we have the second wave of enemies here. So a little bit annoying. Just have to fight these enemies over and over again if you fail full sync. So just kill all these guards and go through the tunnels once you kill them. I don't know what happened there either, but the camera kind of freaked out and then hit me again. Which at least when they hit you, they don't do damage to you because they're allies and they don't have friendly fire.
His army prepared for a surprise assault on Sicilia.
We will stop the attack.
Let's just go down here.
We need to open
There's actually 2 treasure chests you can get in this area, but I don't really bother getting them because I've already got them before and it doesn't matter. They don't really give you that much money anyway. And if you fail the full sync and redo the mission, you have to reopen the chests because the money doesn't save. So you have to constantly reopen the chest over and over again. Which is kind of annoying. The first chest is in that tunnel that you just opened. And then the second chest is actually down here. If you jump down into the water down there, you can get the second chest. So then just go across these beams. If you fall down into the water, it's also very annoying because you have to swim all the way back around to where to the other side of this door, and then climb up back through the top area, and then
I will lower the bridge.
jump over the beams again. And just go for here and back eject onto this little beam and then platform your way across. And then after all of this, we can finally drive the tank. You see how annoying that would get if you had to fail the full sync over and over again, and you just kept failing it, and you just kept getting hit in the tank, and you have to redo all of that over and over again for like hours if you keep failing it. That's just dumb, bad design, and I hate it.
No instructions, of course.
So then once we're actually driving a tank, you have to go through this little area, or this little course or whatever, and just shoot all these cannons. And you can actually get hit by all the little people with the small guns, but even though it does damage to you, if they hit you enough, it doesn't count towards the full sync, or it doesn't count against the full sync, so even though you can get hit by them, it doesn't matter. Even though they are a little bit annoying. So you're shooting. I also try to shoot that because I know that the other cannon that's behind this wall can shoot it and hit you through the explosion of the barrels. I aimed a little bit too high. Just make sure that like when the red lines are showing up, you're not anywhere close to the red line or in the line of sight of the red line, because that's where you get hit. So now I'm just trying to get through this area. Just warn this guy over. There was actually 2 cannons there, but I shot before I even saw the second one. Also, that cannon, that third cannon is kind of annoying because if you don't know it's there, you're not really expecting it, and it can kind of get a cheap shot on you. And I almost got shot by that fourth one. But I'm just kind of going through this really quickly, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But I just wanted to get this mission done and over with. It's better to take your time with it. And then in this next area, you actually have to fight an enemy tank. So what I always do for this is I try to shoot the barrels that are in the area before I actually initiate the fight, just so there's nothing I have to worry about. There's no like obstacles or anything. And then, so I just try to shoot them, at least the ones I can reach before I initiate the fight. So I reached at least 2 of them. And that basically all you have to do is just keep circling around it and keep shooting it. And then once we kill the enemy tank, or destroy the enemy tank, then we have to go into this other fort area and destroy 2 tanks. And this is where the strat I talked about at the beginning of this mission happens, because when you shoot down this door, you can actually stay here in the entranceway and shoot these other things that will be obstacles to you. So you can like shoot them before you initiate the fight, which is kind of interesting. And then the other strat you can do is that when you initiate the fight with the 2 tanks, there's like an out of bounds desynchronized wall that's behind you, and you can actually go through it a little bit. And the tanks will not be able to shoot you when you go through it, which is really helpful. So now I just destroy all the obstacles, and I initiate the fight, and I go back, and I go through the desynchronized wall. And even though they have the red line where they aim the weapon at you, they're not actually able to shoot you. And even though you're taking damage from being out of bounds, it doesn't count against the full sync either. So even though technically taking damage right now, it doesn't make you fail a full sync. But you can only do that for the first tank, but for the second fight, for the second tank, you actually have to fight there and like actually be in the area, because it doesn't come toward you when you're in the out of bounds. So then just like do what you did for the first enemy tank and just go around it quickly and shoot it. And then that's it for this mission. I've had so much trouble with that mission in the past, and once I discovered the out of bounds trick, it just made it so much easier. So if you want to use that trick, then go for it. I know I'm not the one that discovered that, but it just makes it so much easier.
I wish I could keep you.
So just destroy the tank. I probably could have skipped this cutscene, but I just wasn't thinking to do it. I was so done with this mission. That's basically it. And then we move on to the last Brotherhood mission I have for this video, which is a thief assignment called Young at Heart, which is a race where for the full sync you have to complete the course in under 60 seconds, which is dumb because the timer is so strict. And I actually didn't even end up finishing the mission for this video because I was just getting so angry at this mission because it's so dumb, badly designed. So you'll see me do it like a bunch of attempts, but then towards the end I just give up and stop recording because I just don't care. But basically you have to go across all these rooftops, and there's guards that can shoot you, and then if they shoot you, then they shoot you off the roof, and it's dumb, you have to restart. And this mission is basically RNG, and you have to just have luck with Ezio's animations, and if you get bad animations or he doesn't go where exactly you want him to go, then you're just screwed. Like, I did not tell him to jump towards that direction, but he just did anyway. And I don't know why he just jumps randomly. Also, this kept happening to me too. Like, I try to jump to the corner of the roof, but then he gets like magnetized back to the beam, which is really annoying. So then I have to slowly climb up this building, and it just fails full sync because I reached 15 seconds left. That's basically the course, but it's so dumb because the timer's so strict. If you have like an extra 5 or 10 seconds or whatever, it would have been so much easier. And there's no reason it should be this hard. And the reason why at the end I jump all the way to the right and climb up from basically the wood beam or something, whatever it is, the wooden plank. The reason why I jump over there is because if I kept going straight, Ezio would have done a leap of faith into a haystack, and I would have had to climb up all the way from the ground level instead of climbing up from a higher starting position on the other wall. If that makes any sense. But then here I try to jump like straight, but then it ends up like I try to jump into the little like hole between the buildings, and he doesn't. He grabs onto the wall for some reason, so I have to slowly go to the right, and then it gets magnetized to the beam again. And I have to climb up this because if I jump more to the left, he'll do a leap of faith into a haystack. And this can be even more annoying. It always fails like right as soon as I get to the last checkpoint. And I don't know why they made it so dumb and strict like this. It was just bad. And you can also like use the assassin recruits to kill the enemies if you think they're annoying, which they are. But the problem with that is that if you use your assassin recruits and then you restart the memory, then your assassin recruit meter doesn't get refilled automatically, so you still have to wait for it to refill. So you basically only have like one chance to use your assassin recruits. And then here, for some reason, I was holding up on the stick, but he wasn't climbing up. So then I just decided to restart because I knew I would have failed if I kept going. So there's no point. So I'm just retrying this over and over again, just like trying different things and like trying to get good luck and good RNG with the animations he's doing. Because if you don't get the right animations, you're basically screwed. Because the timer's so dumb and strict, and I don't know why they made it like this. And I keep trying to like run straight onto this beam, but he never goes straight onto it, and he has to like jump onto the beam for some reason. Sometimes when I jump to this building, he grabs the ledge, like higher or lower for some reason, and then he never jumps straight during that section. So I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. And then again, I try to jump diagonally, but then it gets magnetized back to this beam. And then I jumped too far right. And I tried climbing up from ground level, but then I just give up because it doesn't work. Like I almost made it, but then it's just bad. I don't know why I made it like this. I don't know like how many people have tried to do this mission, but like if it's why did they make it badly designed? Like I don't even know what to say about this mission because it's just so strict and dumb and badly designed, and I hate it. This mission and the tank mission are like probably some of my least favorite missions in this game, probably even in Assassin's Creed as a whole, because they're just so badly designed. I don't understand why they made them like this. So then, like, I jump too early to this other building, and then for some reason he jumps like crazy far and misses the lower part of the building that was under him. And he jumps all the way to the ground. It's just, I don't understand why the animations are so random. Why they have to make the animation so random for no reason? Why is it... People always complain about, like, your character in Assassin's Creed never going where they want them to. And there's, like, where you want them to go, and this is, like, a prime example of that. This entire mission is just never having them go where you want them to go, and then I get shot off the game, so I have to restart again. And it's just so dumb. This is why I didn't actually end up finishing the mission for this video, because I was getting so fed up with it. It was so bad. So then I tried jumping down here instead of jumping to the left building, but it still doesn't work because I thought jumping to the left building would be faster, but then I kept failing, so I thought jumping to the right would be faster. So I tried that for a few times and it still doesn't work because I get screwed by other things. Like sometimes he grabs that part of the window, and then other times he grabs the other part of the window, and then he still doesn't end up jumping perfectly straight into the hole. He doesn't land between the buildings, and then I tried like running on the flat part of the building instead of on the beam part, but then he jumps back onto the beam part anyway, and he still gets magnetized to that one beam. And then he grabs the edge of the plank. For some reason, this is landing directly on it. And then sometimes he does that, where he just magnetizes to the beam above him. It's so dumb. So then I just stopped recording and moved on to Revelations. And this is actually the only mission in Revelations that I had for this video. Because this is the Champion Part 2, which is a Master Assassin mission. For this forcing objective, you have to not let the Herald lose any health, which is kind of dumb. It's like just throw tons of enemies at you to protect him. Like, sometimes I've had it where like there's a few enemies, and other times I've had it where there's a lot of enemies, and like sometimes the mission is longer or shorter. I don't know what, like, I don't know if it's because my assassin kills more enemies than me, or if they kill less enemies than me, but it seems like every time there's a different number of enemies that come, so I don't know what's up with this mission. Also, you can never skip this dialogue. This is technically in-game still, because you can move the camera, so it's not an actual cutscene you can skip. So you have to watch this every single time you try this mission. So what I always try doing is I throw down a coin bomb, and I throw down a caltrop tripwire bomb to get everyone stuck. And then he does that, like knocking down animation, which was dumb. And then I'm wasting time killing him. So then another guy just runs by and hits the Herald. You try to focus on one enemy, and then like another enemy just comes and runs by and hits him. So you can never know which one is gonna hit the guy, so you never know which one to focus on. And you have to also walk, and you have to do this walk every single time, and it's dumb too. So I tried doing this a few times, it just doesn't work. Okay, I try to throw down the coin bomb so I can like make a huge crowd of enemies, or crowd of civilians, so the enemies to get stuck in. But it still doesn't work because the enemies like come so fast. I don't know what was up with that woman. She was just parkouring for no reason. It just comes so fast. I don't know what I'm meant to do. And there's also no way you can throw down tripwires to prepare, because they come so fast and you can never tell which direction they're going to come from. And you can't throw down tripwires before you do this mission, because I don't think it. I think they get rid of the tripwires before you start the mission. So like I try to get them stuck on the guard or on the civilians, but then like they end up hitting them anyway. Like actually focuses on the wrong enemy. Like I don't know what is up with this. Like I try to hit an enemy, but then Ezio is like focused on a different enemy for some reason.
That same brute has now set his
I
sights on the
don't know what
printer's
is
father,
going on
a
with this,
local herald.
but it's just so
Cruel way
bad.
to draw his real target out into the open, no? We should warn the father and get rid of this.
I'm doing it the exact same way I did it last time I played this mission a while ago. And it's not working, even though it worked the last time I did this mission before I even decided to make this video.
Mi scusi, signore.
But when I was doing
Your
this mission,
son
I
has
was like,
stirred
this
up
has
some
to
trouble.
be shown off, and so I
Enough that
decided
the
to
men
make this
looking
video
for him
series.
may come for you now.
My son.
Like, this isn't the only
He is
mission
a humble
that
printer,
made me decide to
and
make
I
this
a
video
simple
series,
herald.
but it's definitely
Why
one of
would
them where I
anybody
was like,
want to
this is
hurt
going in
us?
the video.
Words can wound like any
From,
blade,
this
amico.
has to be in this
I think
video.
we are being watched.
Just because it's so
Can you see
bad.
anything?
Templars, do you see them?
So,
Evacuate.
watch this cutscene over and over again. So just throw down a tripwire bomb, toss up tripwire bomb, and they hit me for some reason. And also that happens where like you try to but then you try to do that animation from the back, but then he just ends up hitting them normally for no reason, and it doesn't even do any damage to them because you have to do like a full-on like combo on the enemies to get them to take damage. Like sometimes it does that one hit kill animation and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't do it all the time. And then I try to throw another bomb, but then it just gets, it like explodes on nothing for no reason. So like, oh, I'm done. And I was like, why isn't that finishing it? So I didn't realize there was 2 enemies left. So now I try to kill the guy. I tried to kill him that was closest to the herald, and it wasn't even doing the hitting animation. It was making me throw my hidden blades out. So now I decided to go to the nearby bomb crafting station and try a different bomb. And I tried to craft a phosphorus smoke bomb, because like that would make everyone stunned, like even more than Caltrops. And I also tried using impact, like shrapnel impact bomb shells, or impact shell lethal, I don't know what I'm saying. I tried to make a shrapnel bomb with an impact shell, but like the one time I tried to do it, I threw it and it hit a civilian, ended up killing like 3 civilians at once, so it immediately desynchronized me. So I was like, that's not gonna